Hi, and welcome to Live with Connie. For those that don't know me, my name is Connie. And if you're here on the live, please comment in the comment section. And also let me know that you can hear and see me okay. Hi, Crystal. How are you doing today? Yes, please make sure that you give my video a thumbs up as you enter. So Crystal, do you see and hear me okay? Okay, good, good, good. Okay. I'm just waiting for some more people to start entering. So what project are you currently working on, Crystal? So far, it looks like you're the only one here. So you're working on Bag of Day's latest rap. I'm gonna have to check that out. I need to bookmark some of her latest tutorials. And then most of what I have bookmarked is on my other YouTube channel, which I really don't use since I started making videos. Hey Deanna, how are you doing today? And what project are you working on right now? And if anyone else is here, please make sure to comment in the comment section so I know that you're here. Because I want to give a few more minutes and have a few more people show up before I really get started. So, oh, hey, Lori, how are you doing today? And how's Florida treating you? Well, you might be on one of your road trips again with Barbara, huh? Um, and also, Lori, what project are you currently working on right now? Deanna she's doing great and she's working on her mom's Tree of Life Afghan. Oh, you're gonna have to post a picture of that when you're done. Oh, hi, Melanie. How are you doing today? We meet again. And Melanie, what are you currently working on right now? And what state are you from? I probably should know, but I can't think of it offhand. So Deanna's gonna post a picture when she's done. Yeah, I bet you that Afghan's gonna be gorgeous. But I'm gonna give it a little more time before I really get started with everything. Lori's working on a pair of bell-bottom pants, maybe. You know what's funny? I always said as a kid I would never wear bell-bottom pants. Then I joined the Navy, and what did I wear almost every single day? Bell-bottom pants, because they had those ugly dungarees that we had to wear, and that was the main uniform that you wore. And what's funny is now I think they totally did away with the dungarees because now they wear the camis. I wish they would have done that back when I was in the Navy. Lori says she's old. But I do have a funny story to tell y'all about Frank. One time we went to the zoo. Hi, Crystal. How are you doing today? Let me know where you're from and what project you're currently working on. But anyway, we went to the zoo and there was this goat. And this goat was in love with Frank. Frank went up to pet it, and this goat is just eating it up. Then I go up to the goat, and I think the goat must have been threatened by me. All it wanted to do was headbutt me. And, but, I'm figuring the goat must have been a girl. I don't know, but that goat was in love with Frank. So Melanie is working on the rigid round baby blanket / 12-point store pattern by Hooked by Robin, and she's from North Carolina. Yeah, I think that rings a bell now. But I bet you that baby blanket's going to be gorgeous. I can't wait to see it once you finish. And Crystal Hayes is not working on anything right now. She lost her Crojo for a while, and she's from Oklahoma. And we have 2 Crystals in the chat right now, so I'm going to call one Crystal the crazy chicken and cat lady, and the other Crystal Hayes, okay? And let's see. Oh, I hope you can find your Crojo again, Crystal. I know Barbara from Crochet Therapy. She did a series on finding your Crojo again. So you might want to check out some of her videos. Maybe that might help you. Lori says it does happen with goats. Yeah, and actually, Deanna, there's 2 Deannas that watch my video. So I usually have to specify which one for y'all too. Oh, Crystal wants to be called the cat lady. Okay, that works. Hi, Melissa. How are you doing today? Let me know where you're from and what project you're currently working on. Okay, and Crystal says I can call her Chris. Okay, so that will work. Okay, and there looks like there's about 8 of us now. So I'm going to start asking some of my questions that I have for y'all. And also, if there's any questions y'all want to ask me, feel free to ask them at any time during the chat. But basically, I'm going to ask some questions. I'm going to give you my answers, and then y'all can answer the questions too in the chat, so we can all get to know each other better. And okay, Deanna says many people just call her D. That works too. Okay, Melissa's in Georgia, and she's working on a crochet baby sweater. Ooh, that sounds nice. And I'd love to see pictures of y'all finished projects once y'all done. And if y'all want, I can include it in my videos if y'all send me a picture too. But make sure y'all let me know if y'all want your picture shown on a video, because I don't want to post someone's pictures and they're like, no, I didn't want it shown. Okay, so I'm getting started with the questions now. And okay, last live, I asked y'all about aliens. Well, today I'm going to ask y'all about ghosts. And I want to know if y'all believe that ghosts exist. And have you ever had any type of ghost experience? Well, I do believe that ghosts exist. I haven't actually had any experience myself. A part of me would always kind of wants to, but if it actually did happen, I would probably get so scared. Now, I have heard of other people having experiences. Because I know my sister growing up, she had a friend, and they had a ghost in their home, where like when she would go spend the night, the lights would just turn off, and little things like that would happen. And there's really no real explanation for it. So, you kind of got to figure it's probably a ghost or something. And like at one point I worked at a hospital, and I know a lot of people the other employees said that they've heard of other people experiencing ghosts, like especially like around the time a patient passes away. And there was one time that there was an empty room and the call bell went off for that patient's, well, that room, there was no patient in it. And, and I'm even asking, the nurses and the CNAs, it's like, was there any way that something could have caused that button to press? And they were like, no, nothing was close to it. So it makes you wonder, could that have been a ghost? Okay, let's see what's going on with the chat now. Okay. Chris says that she believes that ghosts exist and she has had experiences. So what type of experiences have you had? And Crystal says she does believe and that she's had a few, but mostly with orbs and recordings on my phone. I can hear people talking that are not there. Interesting. And like in Louisiana, they have the Myrtles plantation where they believe that there's ghosts there and people have had experiences. And one of my friends has gone there and has taken pictures where you can see the orbs and sometimes you can see like an outline of a person in her pictures. So it's really fascinating. And let's see. Melanie says she not only believes in ghosts, but other energies out there. And I have not had personal experience, but her aunt does all the time. Nice. But yeah, I've always kind of been fascinated by that. And y'all know already I believe in aliens. Okay. And Crystal says they are called EVP, electronic voice phenomenon. And Melissa says she believes in ghosts and hope they stay far away from me. I would have a nervous breakdown if I witnessed anything. Yeah, if I ever experienced a ghost, I would want it to be a friendly one, not anything evil. Now, the only thing I have had happen to me, but now at the time that it happened, I wondered if it was a ghost experience, but then I later realized what it was. And I don't know if y'all ever heard of sleep paralysis, but I had a couple of times that happened to me years ago. And it's kind of like you wake up in the middle of like a sleep rhythm where you're kind of awake, but kind of not. And it's like you feel like something's holding you down. And it's really scary. And then like you try to speak and you can't speak. But I've had that happen to me. And Lori says she believes in the Holy Ghost. I also believe that spirit beings, but I don't entertain them. And Deanna said when she was younger, we lived in a house where one of the bathroom door would close by itself. But I believe that was the foundation of the house. And yeah, sometimes there are other explanations for things. And Crystal says it's scary. Okay, so my next question for y'all, and if y'all haven't answered this question, y'all can still answer the previous questions. And like I said, if anytime someone wants to ask me a question about something, just feel free to ask. So what are your favorite games? And what type of games do you like to play? And this is going to lead into the next question. And some of y'all may kind of answer the next question with this question. But like for me, I tend to like more computer games. And I like the games like Flo's Diner, like games similar to that. I love those little time management games. Then at one point I was really into playing The Sims, but I haven't done a lot of playing games as much recently. But those are more like, the computer type games. Now, My favorite board game is Monopoly. I love Monopoly. Um, so let me know about your favorite games. And let's see. So, Crystal, you've heard of the sleep paralysis, and you've experienced. It's scary. Deanna says she's with you, Lori. Oh, hi, Wanda. How are you doing today? Let me know where you're from and what project are you currently working on. And I've asked a couple of questions so far. I've asked if people believe in ghosts and if they've had any ghost experiences, and also what your favorite game is. So feel free to share your responses in the comments. So Lori likes Bejeweled. Yeah, that's another good one. And I also used to play Candy Crush some. Um, but now I never spend money on those type of games. And another one that there was another one that I liked. I think it was something to do with something mansion. I can't remember the name of it. And Chris says, I have had my great grandpa come to me, and he was dressed as an angel. I've always had been to heaven and hell, and came back to earth. Different things like that. My favorite game is Monopoly and Uno. Oh yeah, Uno is another good game. I like Uno. But now, one thing I would like to experience, like my mom coming to me. That's one. If I would have like kind of a ghostly experience, I would like my mom to show up and let me know that she's there. And let's see. Melanie says there are so many to list. On her computer, she likes the Diablo series. Oh, Frank likes those games. And MMOS like Rift, I've never heard of that. The Sims series, I haven't heard of that either. And the Sims. Yeah, I used to like playing the Sims. And and Melanie says for board games, she likes Magic, The Gathering. The Gather, yeah, Frank used to be really into that. Live, yeah, that's another one I like. And Uno. Deanna says she likes Word Bliss, crossword where the letters are scrambled and you have to make words like Scrabble. I've never been really good at Scrabble. I wish I was better at it. Now I like the word finds. I like those. And well, this is, I don't know if you'd really consider it a game, but I like Sudoku. um, let's see. Crystal says she plays survival horror games, Resident Evil series, also like BioShock. I play all my games on the Xbox. Used to play Farmville on my phone. I used to love playing Frontierville on Facebook. That was one I used to love playing. And when it comes to the Xbox, I never got into the Xbox. Like, now as a kid, like we had an Atari growing up. I'm sure a lot of y'all remember the Atari. And I like playing Atari games. But then like when it got into the Nintendo, I never had one. And then every now and then I would get to play it at someone else's house. But I never played enough to get that into it. And then when the Xbox came, it's just like, I don't know, I just never really got into it. Okay, let me scroll back up. Okay. And Hook to the Left says for phone games, she likes Home Design, Uno, really any puzzle design game. Oh, and that makes me think of Yahtzee. I like Yahtzee. That's another game I like. And Crystal says Mexican Train on Dominoes. Never heard of that. Now, Chris says she's had family members that came to her. And hi, Lashira, how are you doing today? let me know where you're from, and let me know what you're currently working on, what project. I don't know if you heard the question that I asked, but I'm asking everyone what their favorite game is. So feel free to share in the comments. And Melanie says she used to play. That is where I am at now since I started my channel. Yeah, having a channel is time consuming. And like if you're not a content creator, you know, it's like what goes into making the videos, it is time consuming. Let's see, where was I? Now Crystal says she's caught her grandfather's voice on an EVP before. It was very comforting. That sounds nice. And let's see. Oh, hey, Tiffany. How are you doing today? Hold up. I'm losing my spot again. Hold up. Let me find my spot. Give me just a second. Okay. Um, yeah, Tiffany is one of my good friends. We used to be really active together on Hot Coupon World. I don't know if any of y'all are familiar with that website, but I used to be into couponing. I used to do a lot of the coupon trains on it. And if y'all ever were on Hot Coupon World, I was Miss Sweet Cheeks on there. So Tiffany, how are you doing today? I know you don't crochet or knit, but which I'm hoping one of these days you get brave and start trying. But anyway, Tiffany is from Michigan, and Melissa says she loves Form Pound, which that one I'm not as familiar with, but I kind of figure it's kind of like some of the other popular games. And Crystal says, "Oh, and Township on her phone." And Tiffany loves gaming on Xbox too. Deanna says she loves Heyday on her tablet. Been playing for 5 years now. Yeah, I've never heard of that game either. So you're new, Lashira. I want to welcome you to my channel. Now I have a lot of videos on my channel. If you want to learn more about my channel, the very first video is the introduction, which will tell you more about it. The only thing that's really changed, when I first started my channel, I did knitting Thursdays, and then I switched my knitting videos to Friday, so I call it Knitting Fridays now. But I think pretty much everything else is on it is the same. I've just added more stuff to my channel. But I'm so glad to have you here, and I hope you enjoy my channel. Okay, I lost my place again. That's one thing. The comments get difficult, like, because the more comments, it's like you got to find your place again. So just bear with me on that. Okay, let's see. Okay. And Lori says, try the table tennis, laughing out way before your time. I do remember like the tennis game on Atari. And then I remember, yeah, ping pong. But like actual ping pong, not any type of game. Like video game, I mean. Okay. Okay, so Wanda is from Greensboro, North Carolina. She's working on 3 blankets. And yes to the ghost, one in her house. Ooh, you got to tell us about some of your ghost experiences. And she likes Match 3 computer games. Lashira says she's good, and she's working on a colorful blanket, and she's from the Netherlands. Ooh, I always love like whenever I hear someone's from a different country. So yeah, when you finish your blanket, Lashira, I'd love to see a picture of it. And Crystal says it is time consuming. And Tiffany's having a great day. Awesome. Wanda's a truck driver working today. Now my husband Frank used to be a truck driver. So, and I actually rode on the rig with him. You know, and that makes me want to ask everyone a question. Have y'all ever rode in a rig? And let's see. And Deanna says she's going to have to find all of us ladies with YouTube channels for new content. Yes, and that's one thing too. If you have a YouTube channel and you want me to give you a shout out on one of my videos, just let me know. And I'm always willing to give a channel a shout out. Also, I do have a Facebook group, and I have the link for it in the description box of all my videos. And if you're a content creator, I will let you post in my group about your channel. So that's another place that you can help promote your channel. Let's see. So Tiffany says if she tries again, she'll use my tutorials. Oh, thank you. And my next tutorials, and I actually did try to film them this week, but I messed up on it, so I need to redo it. I'm hoping that I get to film it tomorrow, but I still plan to do the waistcoat stitch tutorial, and I'm going to show how to do sorry, I got tongue tied, the decrease with it. And probably some of the tutorials that I will have coming up, I still want to show how to knit and crochet in the round. I want to show y'all how to read written patterns, and I think there was something else I was wanting to show, but I can't think of it offhand. But if there's any tutorials that you would like me to do, also let me know that. Or if you have any suggestions on things you would like to see in my videos, I'm always open to suggestions, so just let me know. Okay. I'm trying to get caught up on all the comments before I go on to the next question. Let's see. Hook to the left says she used to coupon too, especially when she used to not work so many years ago. Never heard of that site though. That Hot Coupon World was actually a very popular couponing site. And the sad thing, it kind of started going downhill, and then the owner of the site sold it, and it's not the same anymore. Deanna says it's addicting once you join the fiber life. Yes, crochet and knitting is addicting. And Crystal says I also like all the Call of Duty games, but don't play online. And Crystal agrees. Yarn crafts are addicting. And Chris says sometimes she plays Nintendo Switch. She has some games, but my favorite is Luigi's Mansion. Shara says, nice. I will take a look. I'm not a good knitter, so I surely will look up your videos and hope to learn more. Thank you. And like my videos, I show what I'm working on when I finish projects. If I'll show yarn that I purchase, but I probably won't be buying any more yarn for a while. And when I do, it'll probably just be a little bit. But there's more than just tutorials. But yeah, I do have knitting tutorials where I show all the basic stitches, and also crochet too. So if you're looking to learn, check out my tutorials. And I try to be as thorough as possible in my tutorials. And Deanna says she admires all that can coupon. It's a job. Which, when it came to couponing, my area wasn't the best for it because we don't have many grocery stores. It's like we have Walmart, Super One, and Champont's. And we used to have Winn-Dixie, but that closed down. But that's it for grocery stores. And let's see. Hi, Tammy. How are you doing today? Let me know what you're currently working for. And Tammy is from Texas. That is Crystal, the cat lady's mom. And LaShara says she will post it on Instagram. Awesome. And you can also email me too, pictures of your finished projects. Or if you want to join my Facebook group, you can post in there too. And let's see. I just lost my spot again. Okay. Melanie says she used to get my grocery bill for $3 down to $50 a week. Yeah, there was one time I had saved like $100 using coupons. And another thing that some of y'all may not know, you can contact the manufacturers to get coupons. And now they used to be better about sending, but I think that the extreme couponing shows kind of destroyed couponing. But anyway, like, a lot of them will tend to send, there's still a good bit that will send coupons, and sometimes you get coupons for free products. And Crystal says that her grandmother is a couponer. Tammy says she's a little slow and new to life. That's okay. If you have any questions, just ask. And for anyone that just walked into the live video, if there's any questions that y'all want to ask me, feel free to ask. Wanda says she found me through Melanie's channel this morning, so she's new to my channel. I'm glad you decided to check my channel out. And Chris would like to know how to read written patterns. And that is a tutorial that I will be doing. I just don't know when yet. But it is coming. And yeah, the question that I asked, my last question was, what games do you like, and if you believe in ghosts? And I'm going to go ahead and ask my next question while I scan the comments. But this one is about what your favorite games were as a child. And like I said, it's very similar to the question I just asked. But I used to like hopscotch. Y'all remember Chinese jump rope? I love that. And even like jump rope, games like that, like the old school stuff. I miss a lot of old school things. Let's see. Yes, Tammy. If you want to share Android games, pretty much any type of games. If it's video games, computer games, board games, card games. What's the name of my Facebook group? It's Just Another Stitch. And it's linked in the description box of all my videos also. Tammy says Township is one of her favorite games, and the Tribe's the second favorite. And Deanna loves Mahjong. I like playing that too. That's what I like. So Melanie needs to go take a shower. All right, bye, Melanie. I hope you have an awesome day. And Tammy's doing good. How am I doing? I'm doing good. After I finish this video, I'll probably start working on still catching up on my temperature blanket. And I really would have thought that I would have had it finished by, would have been caught up by now. But I get distracted too easily. And then I'm going to also put on a good Lifetime movie. I love Lifetime movies. And Melanie is happy she caught my live. I'm so glad you made it. And thank you for supporting my channel. And Tammy likes Sudoku. Yeah, that's one I like. And LaShara says that her son is playing Call of Duty a lot. And sometimes she looks. And Tammy's son plays that a lot. And Crystal says she loves the story modes on Call of Duty. They are so good. Deanna never had or tried any type of Xbox. Now, Frank used to have an Xbox, but it finally went out on us. But I never really fooled with it. And Lori loves my background, and she's asking if it's a program. It's what you call a green screen. I have a big green fabric behind me. And you'll see it in some of my videos where you just see solid green in the back. But basically, you find like green screen pictures online, and you insert it. Like I'm using StreamYard, which gives you the option to add a green screen. And so you just basically insert the picture that you want to use, and it filters out the green. So like if I was wearing green, it would start filtering out what I wear. And like there's some videos like that I've tried using it where you'll see that I have it in part of the video and not the whole thing. And that's usually because I'm showing something and it starts messing with the coloring. And you will also kind of see, like around my hair, you can kind of see a little like shadow because it's hard to filter it perfectly unless you're like an expert with green screens. So where was I? Let's see. Tammy says she used to enjoy cranium games. Never heard of that. Oh, and LaShara joined my Facebook group. Thank you for joining. And also, like if something happens where I don't post a video, like if I'm delayed posting a video, like I normally post my crochet video sometime Tuesday. Oh, my coffee pot just went off. But anyway, so like say like I don't get to film that day, I'll usually post in my Facebook group. Or if I'm running like later in the day, posting it. But yeah, usually like if I have something to announce to do with my channel, I'll make a post in the group. And like you feel free to share your projects in my Facebook group, like what you make and stuff like that. Lori says we all get distracted. Oh, look, fiber. Yep. And like I'll be like sitting down to crochet or knit, and I get distracted too easily. And Deanna says she's thinking that it's best to store a temperature blanket at the first of the year, but it's something you can store anytime. It really is best to store it the first of the year, but you can store it anytime. You can go to sites like AccuWeather, and there's other sites too where you can pull up the high and low temperature for the whole year. Because I had to do that with my temperature blanket from last year, because at the end of the year I got behind, so I had to play catch up. And I was doing so good too, but where I would do it every day. And like in my current temperature blanket, I got behind because I ran out of the color yarn I needed. So I was waiting to order more and for it to come in. And I couldn't move on with the project until I had that yarn. Lashira says she can't play Sudoku, too complicated. Now, have you tried like the really easy patterns? Because they have different levels for the patterns. For the I'm sorry, for the game. Crystal can't do Sudoku either. But basically with Sudoku, you have to use. There's a certain like pattern, like certain areas where you have to use all the numbers 1 through 9. Like if you're going horizontal, like you can't use 2 twice, or if you go up and down, stuff like that. And then you have like the mini blocks inside too. But let's see. So Chris says she used to like playing hopscotch, Foursquare Monopoly, riding a bike. Oh yeah, I liked riding a bike as a kid. Playing outside until dark. That's what I loved when I was a kid. And tell your husband he needs to get a PS4 or Nintendo Switch. They are better than Xbox. Yeah, but the thing is, when Frank gets into playing games, he'll stay on it. So don't encourage him too much. And Lori says I could really get some creativity happening in that place. So a lot of y'all have trouble with Sudoku. Yeah. Like me, I'm not good at crossword puzzles. I'm not good at that. So we all have our thing. Chris is like laughing out loud. There's your coffee pot. Yes, it goes off in a lot of my videos because whenever it finishes making coffee, it beeps, and it has it automatically shuts off. I think after 2 hours, and it'll beep then too, and that's what it just did. And Shelly says, I thought that was my coffee pot. I was like, oh, sweet, someone made coffee. So, hi, Shelly. How are you doing today? Let me know where you're from and what project are you currently working on. And let's see. Chris said, I thought something was wrong in my house, and then I realized that it wasn't. Deanna says she needs to check on that because she'd like to make one. Something I don't need a pattern to look at. Yes, and with temperature blankets, there's so much you can do with it. You can do it knitting, you can do it crocheting, different stitches. And I've even seen people do temperature projects with cross stitching. And that's another thing. I do cross stitch, but since I learned how to knit, I haven't cross stitched. And let's see. Shelly loves her some Sudoku. Lori says it's a game of why I'd rather be crocheting. Yes, Crystal just posted all the questions that I've asked so far in this live. And what's funny is I'm already at 44 minutes on my video. I really thought I would have had more questions that I would have asked so far. But you never know because like my last live, I went through like 15 questions. So you just don't know where the conversation will take you. So Deanna's saying that her life has been complicated lately. She has a daughter and 3 grandchildren living with them right now, and it's really slowed down her crocheting and gaming. Yeah, she was telling me about that on Facebook. So I hope things get back to normal for you soon. Yeah. Tammy's from Texas and she's making a granny square blanket. And granny square is one of my favorite stitches in crochet. I think it's such a beautiful stitch. And it's really, if you're new to crochet, it's not hard to learn. You're basically just doing 3 double crochets in the little, like, it's, I don't know what you call it, but it's like a little, you have a little space that you do your stitches. I can't think of what you call it. Chris says she's not good at crossword puzzles either. She'll stick with her word searches. Lori says she's working on getting her knit on. And I'm actually caught up on the comments. So my next question for y'all. Have any of you ever been in the military? And I was in the Navy. And I was stationed in Diego Garcia, which is in the middle of the Indian Ocean. And it's very tropical there. It's gorgeous. But like especially when I was there, there's a lot of things you didn't have there. Like there's no, you don't have a McDonald's, but they did have a burger joint. Like a lot of things you couldn't get there. But now, like I've seen stuff like where I've watched some YouTube channels. I'm like, they have everything now. Well, not everything, but it's like so much that you couldn't get back then. Like getting, like if you wanted fresh food to make a dish yourself, you really couldn't get it. So let's see. So Shelly says sometimes she thinks there might be a ghost, but it could also be a jerk cat. Chillaxing in Pennsylvania, making a bath mat because I need something easy. My brain hurts. Yeah, sometimes we all need an easy pattern to do. And Deanna said there's so many things you can do with a granny square. And Crystal says crochet is easier than knitting, in her opinion. I start with crochet and then start knitting. And I was the opposite. I learned how to knit first, and I find knitting was easier to learn. Because I attempted to learn to crochet like a year or so before I learned how to knit. And I didn't get anywhere with it. And then I revisited it this past September. So I haven't been crocheting long. And I revisited it, and I found a really good tutorials on Craftsy. And I did Selena Baca's tutorial, and she is very thorough. And once I did hers, I picked it up easily. But there's certain things I find with crochet you really have to get down. Like you have to know how to count your stitches, what your stitches look like, and what to do when you get to the end of the row and starting a new row. So let's see, where was I? Okay. But Shara says, for Deanna to enjoy your fam, crocheting will come, don't worry. Yes, and that is so true. Let's see. And Crystal says, granny squares are used for anything. Yes. And like, I love them in shawls, blankets. And I wanted, like this year, one of my goals is to do my first poncho, which I've done shawls, but I've never done a poncho. And I really want to do my poncho in granny square. I mean, not granny square, granny stitch. So Lori says that her daughter was in the Army. Awesome. And LaShera wasn't in the military. Crystal hasn't either. Hi, Sandy. How are you doing today? Let me know where you're from and what project you're currently working on. I don't know if you heard the question that I just asked, but I'm asking if anyone's been in the military, and if so, what branch? Shelly says she was in JROTC, but she switched schools for their visual arts program. I convinced my ninth grader to join, thinking I'd be fun, but apparently not this year. But Cher loves granny squares too. She makes several things with that and still do. Tammy says she's not good at knitting. She's so tense when I knit that it gives her a headache. And the hard thing with knitting, I find, is slip stitches. But that takes time. It really does. And you got to learn how to kind of hold your hands just so the stitches don't slip off. And if you make a mistake, it's very hard to fix mistakes in knitting. Or crochet, you just tear it out and it's like nothing. So Sandy's having a great Saturday. And Deanna says, someone mentioned reading patterns when she first started years ago. I wrote down all the abbreviations with what they mean and went from there. And a lot of people, I hear a lot of people have trouble with reading written patterns. And now whenever I learn, I always started off watching a video. But like with knitting, I would pull up like Morley Bird's video, but I also pulled up the written pattern. And that's how I started learning how to read written patterns in knitting. And then with crochet, the tutorials that I did on Craftsy, there was a video, that they had it where they taught, explained written patterns. And then they had you do 3 projects using a written pattern. And she also did the video. Now with crochet, if it's something I haven't done before, I will pull up a video to learn. Like when I do my first poncho, I'll use a video tutorial. But for the most part, I can read a pattern. And really, most of the time, when I would do video tutorials for a pattern, I really prefer having the written pattern too. But if they don't have a free one, I just jot down, make notes. So let's see. Sandy, she did knitting first, and she found crochet and never looked back. And really, once I learned how to crochet, I do find that I'm not knitting as much. But I do try to work on knitting projects too, because I don't want to get away from knitting. And probably with how I do like my Crochet Tuesday, Knitting Friday videos, I'm probably going to have it where I kind of have a project that I work on for both. So that way, I have something to show y'all in each video that I'm working on or finished. Because like right now, well, I'm catching up on my temperature blanket. But once I'm caught up on that, I'll get back to doing my ocean sea turtle blanket, and I'll be alternating that with my knitted socks. Which, for those that don't know, I'm starting to knit my first pair of socks. And this is my first experience with using #1 weighted yarn. And it was a challenge initially, because after casting on, that first row was something else. And I'm like, oh, gee, I got to do it again on another sock. So you've done granny squares purses, Tammy? That sounds interesting. LaShara says she's bad in reading patterns. So for her, it's not done. Love the diagrams. Deanna has never been in the military, but many family members have and still are. And the funny thing is, When I decided to join the Navy, a lot of people were shocked because you know I didn't seem like the type. I was always quiet, timid, shy, and but the thing is, like when you're actually in the military, there really is no type of person. I mean, you see such a variety of different types of people. You have your shy people and you have your really outgoing, and I mean, you just have a big mixture. We're already at 55 minutes. I mean, if y'all want to keep going past an hour, I'm willing to. Just let me know. But I usually try to keep it at about an hour. Let's see. Okay, and Sandy says she's the only one in the family that was not in the military, that her father, mother, and brother were all in the Air Force. Her mother was the very first female pilot instructor in the U.S. Air Force. Ooh, nice. And yeah, and anyone that has mentioned about being in the military or someone that they're close to, yes, thank y'all for y'all service. Um, let's see. Tammy says no military for her, but she's grateful for their service. Shelly says she's pretty sure a ghost was brushing their teeth in the bathroom once. That sounds interesting. And let's see. Lori says many crafters are visual learners. Let's see. Tammy says she had one flush her toilet when Crystal was around 13 months old, and then it laughed. Oh, that is something. At least they flush their ghost. You know what? Okay, y'all are making me crack up. And Chris says to try Jada and Stitches for the poncho, see if you like her. I am subscribed to her. I'm going to have to look through her patterns and see what I've come up with. Deanna's just learning diagrams. And Deanna says a couple of months ago, she started teaching her granddaughter how to crochet. She's already reading patterns and diagrams. She has already made her own coin purse pattern. She's 14. Ooh, yes, it really is good to learn early. I wish I would have learned how to crochet or knit at a young age. Shelly wishes that her boyfriend poop ghost turds. Okay. And Chris says she had a ghost keep looking at her every time she took a bath. Y'all are coming up with some stuff. Let's see. Lori says that's a memory she'll never forget. And Teensy says she just picked up her phone and she found my live. Oh, thank you for joining in. Let us know where you're from and what are you working on right now. And she says thank you for your service. And her dad was a sharpshooter in Korea, as was his brother. Oh, nice. And thank them for their service. Chris says she told the ghost to leave and it did. And Tensy's from Louisiana. I'm from Louisiana too. What port are you from? I'm initially from Homa, and I now live in Eunice. And Lashera is asking if everyone has, who has a channel on YouTube, which a lot of us do. But I, I don't think they can really share it. Which that's one thing I do need to learn how to do. Like either get like the Nightbot set up. And Crystal so far is my only moderator. And I don't know if she's familiar with dropping links. But if you know how to do it, Crystal, if you want to drop some links real quick, go ahead. But I'm gonna try to find out more on that so I can start letting everyone share their YouTube links on the live. Yeah, like Crystal has a channel. And you can also, like, if you see, like, her name, Crystal, the Yorny Chicken and Crazy Cat Lady, you could also search that in the YouTube search, and you should be able to pull up her channel. And I've done quite a few shout outs for Crystal's channel, too, on my videos. So you can probably find her link in the description box on one of them, too. Tammy said that I asked about ghosts. Do I believe in aliens? Yes, I do. And actually, I asked about aliens in my last live. But yeah, I do believe aliens exist. Because why wouldn't there be life form on another planet? And there's just been too many things that you hear about happening that, yeah, I think there's more out there. Kind of like the ocean has never been fully, discovered. But oh, and Area 51, that kind of makes me curious. Have any of y'all been to Area 51? But like Frank believes that like they moved up most of the stuff there that they don't really have all the top secret stuff there too anymore because it's too well known about now. But But yeah, I would like to meet an alien, but the thing that worries me about aliens, I do think that they're high in radiation. So yeah, I believe in aliens. Oh, I could get into some subjects of things, but because like I am fascinated like by conspiracy theories. And yes, some of them are total like no, like there's one that like some people believe that um oh I can't think of that singer's name. Katy Perry, that's it. That she's actually John Benet Ramsey. But the, that it's weak. It's so weak. But there are some that they do have some good solid reasoning behind it that really makes you go, And oh, speaking of like conspiracy theories, if you're interested in that type of stuff, I don't know if y'all have ever heard of Kendall Ray. She's on YouTube and like she's done a lot on that subject and she also does a lot of true crime videos. So if you're into true crime, she's a channel that I would recommend. Let's see. Okay, so Crystal can post links. Yeah, if you don't mind, if you want to drop some links, because I'm all about supporting other channels. And Chris says she don't have a channel. And Tammy says she lived in Iowa. Linda and Lake Charles. Yeah, Lake Charles. I think I want to say it's about three, two. No, I think it's either 2 or 3 hours away from me. So, Chris has a Facebook group. What's the name of your Facebook group? Oh no, I may even be in that group. I'm in a lot of Facebook crochet and knitting groups. Hmm. Hmm. See, I don't know. It doesn't look like the link is completely working, Crystal. I mean, it shows, but I don't like. I think you would have to copy. People would have to copy and paste it instead of just clicking. And I know in some lives they can do it where you can actually click on it. But if you're interested in Crystal's channel, she did post a link, but I think you're going to have to copy paste it. So I'm going to go ahead and run my live. Well, I'm probably going to go for an hour and a half, if that's fine with everybody. And because I'm having fun, and it sounds like y'all are too, so I'm gonna keep this going. and who knows, maybe we'll decide to go even longer. But I also got to watch out because I know Frank will need to get back on the computer after a while at a certain time to start doing his work, so he'll eventually kick me off. So Tinsy, am I saying your name right? I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing it. And I'm not the best at pronouncing like certain words, like or in names, so please forgive me. You were from Alexandria, and well, she's from Alexandria, and she has 3 Afghans going right now. Ooh, nice. And I would love to see your Afghans when you're finished with them. If you'd like to send me some pictures. Um, and my accent's different than hers. I don't know. A lot of people say that I don't really speak like I'm from Louisiana, so I don't know. I mean, like, my dad was originally from Arkansas, so maybe that's why. And then as a child, I did have a lot of speech issues, so I don't know. So let's see. Yeah, if you want your link drop, let Crystal know. Louisiana. Oh, and that reminds me. Um, in the V.C. Andrews movie, the Ruby series. Well, Ruby, she's evidently she's from Homa, but I wanted to laugh because they pronounced it Huma, and at first I was like, do they mean Homa? And then later, like when she was going back home to Homa, there was a sign where it had Homa on it, and that's the direction she was going. And it was like, sure enough. But like movies, they always make it sound like people from Louisiana talk with that real southern, and we really don't speak like how they portray us on movies. Okay, so Tiffany has to go. And she's saying for everyone to have a great day. You have a great day too, Tiffany. And I'm going to go ahead and ask my next question, but I'm going to continue with the comments. So probably by that time, I'll have some answers on this one. But I'm curious, who was your first celebrity crush growing up? And I did talk about this in one of my videos, but I don't think anyone, or there was only maybe like 1 or 2 people that answered this question when I asked it. But mine was Sean Cassidy. I had the posters, I had the T-shirts, and in the video where I asked the question, I actually posted a picture of me as a little girl with my Sean Cassidy poster. So yeah, who was your childhood crush? Celebrity. Let's see. Crystal has not been to Area 51. And Lori says, have a wonderful day, everyone. Chat again another day. Keep on stitching. So I guess Lori's leaving us. So if you are Lori, I hope you have an awesome day and get your yarn on. Okay. Shelly says some of that deep sea life might as well be aliens. Yeah, we really don't know what all is going on in the ocean. There's so much that has not been explored. Oh, and that's one thing too. If any of y'all watching aren't, you're not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel, and also like this video too. And in it, also if you could share some of my, like my videos on your social media platforms, that would be greatly appreciated. And Tammy says they have a secret base in Dulce, New Mexico. I figure they have secret places, and that's like too. I mean, there's underground tunnels, and I mean, there's so much we don't know what's going on. And Lori says God talks about them in the Bible. hmm Deanna loves watching true crime. And another true crime channel, if you're interested in that, Brooke McKenna is a good one. There's a couple of other ones that I watch too some, but I can't think of their channel names offhand. Let's see. Oh, Kay just entered. Hi, Kay. How are you doing today? Let us know what you're currently working on. And I don't know if you caught the question that I just asked, but I'm asking who your first celebrity. Oh, I'm getting tongue tied today. Celebrity crush was. And Chris is a sassy crocheter. Um, okay, let's see. So that's your. Oh, okay, never mind. I got it now. Okay, so Lashera has a channel. Okay, I'm gonna have to try to remember to check that out. I don't think I'm subscribed to your channel, but I am subscribed to a lot of channels, so I might actually be. Okay. So Tinsy said, Lake Charles 1 hour from her. No group, but follow those I enjoy and have great things to make. I hit her link and it went to her and I subbed her. Okay, good. Because on my end, it didn't look like the links would work, but I'm on StreamYard, so maybe that's why. And I'm new to doing live, so I'm still learning. So LaShura says she needs to put more videos. And yeah, like if you ever have any questions, feel free to ask like me, and Crystal will probably be willing to help. And there's other content creators too that are really good for helping each other out. And in the yarn community, a lot of us really do try to help each other out. And you make a lot of awesome friends. So Chris says she threw yarn in your windows, LaShira. And LaShira said, it's okay for me. Okay. And Tammy says you need to be careful when watching and commenting on conspiracy theories. Really, like I don't comment whenever I watch those channels on YouTube. I just watch them. I like me. I find them fascinating, but she said she used to watch and comment, and her computer was hacked, and all the passwords were changed, and they, I guess, fired you. I guess. But yeah, but when you're doing stuff online, you always need to be careful because I mean, you never know. And Wanda says right now she only has one video up, and it's trucking related. I hope to eventually have crochet related videos. Wanda, if you want, I can give you a shout out in my next video, my Crochet Tuesday video. So let me make a note of that so I don't forget. Okay. Wanda, the back, words, wrong. side crocheter. Okay. Shout out. Okay. Okay, I made a note of that. Okay. So I'll give you a shout out and let people know that you plan to start doing crochet related videos. Okay. Let's see. And Melissa has a channel too. And Tammy says her computer and black helicopters used to fly over her house and work. Oh, that sounds scary. Dude, needless to say, I stopped watching conspiracy theory videos and it all stopped. Well, that starts to sound scary. But like I said, I mean, I watch them, but I've never ever commented. Let's see. And Teensy said, no one not from here can talk like we do. My hubby of 40 plus is a French man. Yeah, Louisiana, we're unique. But really every state has their unique ways and all. So let's see. So Deanna's crush was Donny Osmond. And Kay was 5 and in love with Michael Jackson. Teensy, Tom Jones, and she still loves him. And Chris had a crush on the boy bands. Oh yeah, I used to like listening to Poison. Oh, I can't. My mind just went blank. I can't think of the other ones I listened to. But yeah, I really like 80s music. And Crystal wanted to know what the question was. Who was your celebrity crush growing up? And Tammy says Matt Damon, but he is not so cute now. And oh, hey Dana, how you doing today? What are you currently working on? And Dana is from, I believe, Indiana. Correct me if I'm wrong. And oh yeah, Dana, I'm gonna need some advice from you when it comes to like setting up the Nightbot. And I know like some people have trouble with Nightbot getting too aggressive, but yeah, if you can give me some advice to do with that, I'd appreciate it. Oh, Crystal says she thinks her mom meant Dylan. And Dana says she just woke up. And let's see. And Melissa says she thinks her first celebrity crush was John Travolta. Oh yeah, I love me some John Travolta. I would love to like be able to like dance with him or something. He's such an awesome dancer. But yeah, I love John Travolta. I love Grease. That's one of my favorite movies. And Kay is working on a Granny Square and Red Heart. How do you say that? I know it's. I always want to call it high G yarn, but it's like hoo-ya or hoo. But anyway, but yeah, that's some nice yarn. I used it one time in a shawl I made. Deanna says she's old. Yeah, I feel like I'm getting up there too. And Barbara's here from Bear's Crochet Critters. And she says she's way late, but glad to catch you still on. Yeah, I'm running like normally I aim for doing an hour, but we seem to be having a good time, so I'm gonna go to an hour and a half, and possibly even 2 hours today. So, but yeah, let me know what you're working on, Barbara. And I don't know if you heard the current question, but I asked about childhood celebrity crushes. And Chris says her Facebook group is called Sassy Crocheter. Okay, let me make a note of that so I can check out your group. because that's not what I'm subscribed to. Sassy crocheter. Okay. And Crystal says her first crush was Michael J. Fox. Yeah, I used to like watching Family Ties as a kid. And Tammy says it was Matt Dillon, not Damon. And Dana says she had many celebrity crushes. Tiger Woods, maybe. And let's see. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and ask the next question. And again, and I'll finish reading the comments. I'm curious, what was your first car? Mine was a 1987 light blue Chevy Cavalier. And this car liked to break, like within 3 months, it would break down on me. And I had the car about 4 years. Now, the one good thing was it broke down often, but the repairs usually weren't expensive because it usually was under $150 to repair it. Now, like the last year I had it, it started really giving me problems. But yeah, I even had a name for it, but I can't say it here. But I basically called it that because it always broke down on me. So Tammy is asking Deanna if she's kin to Seth. Okay. Okay, Crystal's having trouble finding Sassy Crocheter. Okay. And Chris said it's the one with the cat sleeping on a blanket on Facebook. Tammy says Connie and John Travolta dancing. Oh, yeah. And I always thought he was hot, too. Shh, don't tell Frank. Frank knows. Oh, I don't know if y'all heard, but Frank just snored in the background. Poor Frank. And Teensy says she's loving her some John Travolta. When he appeared on TV, we are the same age, 7 months apart. And Crystal's first car was a 1985 Nissan King Cab pickup standard. Tammy was a Ford Mustang, but cannot remember the year. Melissa was a silver Mercury Monarch. Dana was a Chevy Blazer, and I did have a Chevy Blazer at one time. And Crystal's crush, one of her crushes, Seth MacFarlane. And Chris wants to know what the question was. What was your first car? And let's see. And I think I'm all caught up on the chat now. But yeah, my Chevy Cavalier, that thing loved to break down. Let's see. Teensy says she had a muscle car, a 1965 cherry red. Ooh, hopped up, missed that car and the youth that went with it. But one thing I want to ask for those that have joined in later, if you have any questions you would like to ask me, feel free to ask in the chat. Let's see. Also, if there's anything that you would like to see on my channel, let me know that. Any tutorials that you would like me to do soon. And Crystal says her crush was not Seth MacFarlane. Tammy was asking Deanna if she was related to him as a joke. Okay. But hey, you never know. No, I did like the movie Knocked Up with Seth MacFarlane. That was a funny movie. And Chris says she's currently paying on her first car, which is a 2015 Chevy Trax, but can't drive it because I have seizures. Hopefully you start doing better with the seizures. I'm going to go ahead and ask my next question. Do you have any musical talent? Like, do you sing, play an instrument? Me? No, not at all. And you do not want to hear me sing. And Chris says, oh, okay, I read that one. Okay, Tammy says the herringbone stitch. Now, I haven't done that stitch yet, but I'm going to try to look it up and see if I can learn how to do it easily. So I'm jotting that down. Because that is one thing with crochet. I am still pretty new with crochet because I started September of last year. So I haven't even been crocheting a year. So there's still a lot I have to learn about crochet, but I will see what I can find on that stitch. Okay. So Crystal says she liked the Orville, but they took it off TV and put it on Amazon Prime. Okay. Lashira is still having trouble finding Crystal's channel. And Tammy said, did you see you and John dancing, Connie? And you know one thing funny? Like sometimes whenever I'm in the store and you'll have like the background music playing, like I'll start kind of like dancing in the store. But like if I see somebody, noticing me, I get like all shy and embarrassed. So let's see. Chris says she could sing but not very good. And Melissa says no musical talent here. Crystal played the clarinet in school. She was like 20. Oh, it was like 20 years ago. Okay. And let's see. Oh, Chris, I think she meant Chris, the other Crystal's channel, the Yorny Chicken and Crazy Cat Lady channel. And Tammy says no musical talent here. I did take piano, but I cannot remember the notes. Deanna says her daughter sings, but she can't carry a note. Teensy says piano took lessons, wasn't blessed to play by ear, as my dad and one of my brothers did. I had to practice. Okay. Yeah. Crystal Hayes doesn't have a YouTube channel. Crystal, the Yorny Chicken and Crazy Cat Lady, is the one with the YouTube channel. And I love her channel, so I highly recommend that y'all check her channel out. So, yeah, I think I will go to 2 hours today. I'm really enjoying this, and I hope y'all are. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and ask my next question. Well, I kind of got into this one earlier, asking if y'all watch true crime videos and if y'all like true crime type stuff. Like, I like watching like Dateline, 48 Hours. But now one thing I find, like the YouTube channels that cover true crime, they go more in depth. Like you'll find out stuff that you never knew. But yeah, I love me some true crime. Okay. Kay says her first car was a 1990 Chevy Lumina. So what is everyone's plans for this weekend? I don't really have much plan. Probably Probably in my spare time crochet and watch Lifetime movies. Let's see. Barbara says for a future video, could you show how you manage your yarn when doing color work? Um, I did do a tutorial in crochet for that, and it's a recent video too, saying how to color change. I think the title is something like how to color change in crochet. Um, Now, that was the one I was forgetting about when it comes to knitting. That is a tutorial that I am planning to do with knitting. And also, I want to do too with crochet how to do color changes at the start of a new row. So I really didn't cover that in the video I did. I was showing color changing more with color work. Let's see. So Teensy had fun chatting. She's got to go make dip. I'll be thinking about this while cutting up peppers for my dip. Ooh, what type of dip are you making? But yeah, have a good day, and I hope you have an awesome weekend. Chris says moving furniture grr. And Kay, she played the flute in beginner's band. And Crystal says just crocheting as far as I know. Deanna would really like to make progress on her Tree of Life Afghan by Bonnie Bay. Okay, Crystal's going to be right back. Yeah. And yeah, also, y'all go check out Lashira's channel. I think Crystal posted the link previously. And Wanda's unfortunately working. Okay. Another thing I'm curious about, how did you learn to crochet or knit? Which knitting I learned from YouTube videos. I think the channel was Expressions Fiber that I learned from. And then once I learned the stitches, I did a lot of Morley Bird's tutorials, and I learned a lot from Morley Bird, which if you're new to knitting, I highly recommend checking out Morley Bird. Crochet, like I said previously, I learned from Craftsy, from Selena Bacchus, tutorials on there, and she's very thorough. Chris says her grandmother and her godmother taught her how to crochet. And Crystal learned from her grandmother on YouTube. And really, like with crochet, after my first attempt trying to learn, I really wish that I would have had someone that could have sat down and showed me. And I really thought I would never learn without someone sitting with me teaching me. But I was so happy whenever I finally did learn. And Teensy says, thank you. Okay, the dip she's making is sweet salsa. Oh, that sounds good. It's a family recipe. Learned to knit crochet from her mom when she was 10. I gotta go see. I can't get off too much fun. But I mean, if you need to go, I mean, go see about your dip. If you want to stay, feel free to. We love having you. And Dana learned to crochet from a book. And Deanna saying at Bear's Crochet Critters YouTube channel, please. So I think she's wanting Bear's Barbara's channel link. Now let's see. Kay said her cousin taught her how to crochet. Oh, and Crystal's going to be doing her first live Tuesday at 12 noon Central Standard Time. So yeah, please go check her out on her live. Um, I plan to be there. And down the road, me and Crystal have been talking about doing some live videos together. So that will probably be coming. Deanna learned from YouTube. She needed something to do after the last of 6 kids left home. And Barbara learned the basics as a little girl from her grandma. And really, I wish I would have learned some stuff about crochet from my grandma because she used to always crochet blankets. But I don't know, I never really showed interest as a kid. Um, but then it kind of shocks me because I remember having a kitty sewing machine. I used to always make the pot holders with the loom, but I I don't know why I never tried to learn. And Wanda says her mother-in-law and books didn't have internet back then, but yet internet has made a big difference. It's like you can find out anything now with the internet. And I'm going to go on and ask the next question. But I mean, y'all can also answer any of the questions I previously asked. But anyway, what fashion trend do you think needs to come back? I would like to see penny loafers come back. So I remember whenever I was in junior high, they were in style, and I love those shoes. Also, I love the 50s poodle skirts. I think those are beautiful. And let's see. Now, another thing, too, sometimes I wish would come back, how in the 90s, how we used to cuff our pants, which, I mean, now with the skinny jeans, you kind of cuff your pants, but it's a different cuff. But I always liked like the cuffing because you didn't have to worry about hemming your pants. Crystal says the 80s fashion trends. And yeah, y'all remember like the tease bangs? Deanna says she started sewing at 8 years of age by hand and on an older machine. Yeah, my mom used to do a lot of sewing. She had a sewing machine. She made a lot of my clothes as a kid. Wanda says she learned to read patterns on her own by taking it one step at a time. And really, when it comes to reading patterns, that's all it is. Because, like, if you know the basic stitches, like, especially like crochet, you just take it one stitch at a time. And if there's something you come across that you don't know, what I usually do is I look it up on YouTube. And sometimes too, like in knitting, sometimes I'll forget how to do a stitch because certain stitches you don't always do as often, and it's like, okay, I need to watch a tutorial to refresh my memory. Um, let's see. So I'm all caught up on the comments right now. Let's see. So Tammy says her mother taught her to crochet in her 30s. Mama, I wish Mama would have made it today. We need to get her in a live video. So, Crystal, what is Mama up to today? Deanna's asking if I plan to do more knitting tutorials soon. Yes, after I finish the waistcoat stitch and the decrease for the waistcoat stitch, I am planning to do some knitting tutorials. I'm probably going to try to show how to knit in the round. Probably how to, probably something to do with, color work. So I did a tutorial already on how to change colors. which is more like the beginning of a row, changing colors. Um, but yeah, I do want to do something with color work. I want to do something on reading a written pattern for knitting. But if you have anything knitting that you want to see soon, let me know. So, Kay, you miss bell bottoms? True bell bottoms. I never liked bell bottoms. And like I was saying that earlier on the live, whenever I was in the Navy, we had to wear bell bottoms pretty much every day with the dungarees. Oh, Mama's couponing. I still wish she would show up where she would make an appearance on one of your videos. Oh, Denine's here. Hi, Denine. Denine is from California. What are you currently working on, Denine? You know, and I don't know if you heard my last question, but I was asking what fashion trend needs to come back. And Chris says she was taught in her 20s after a major breakup. Her and her grandmother was taught together by her godmother. And Denine is from Canada. I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next question. What's your favorite Olympic sport to watch? Mine is gymnastics. I always liked Nadia Comaneci. I even watched the movie about her. Mary Lou Retton, like Gabby Douglas. I'm trying to think of some of the other popular gymnasts. But yeah, I always loved gymnastics. And whenever I was a kid, I always would try to do like cartwheels and the front flip. I even learned how to do the back flip. I always wanted to learn how to do like the no-handed. I got close to doing the front no-handed, but I could never land it properly. I would always follow my bum. Crystal says she doesn't like showing her face. She don't want to be to be shown except for her hands. I'd still like to be able to see her on camera though, but I understand. Denise likes the Winter Olympics, so probably the bobsled. Crystal don't really watch any sports of any kind. Yeah, I'm really not a sport person. Like I'm not into football or basketball or baseball, but I do like I do like the women's gymnastics. I guess it's kind of like because it's kind of like dance. Like I always liked watching So You Think You Can Dance. Do any of you do any of y'all watch So You Think You Can Dance? I haven't watched like the last few seasons of it though, and I don't know, maybe it's not even playing anymore. They may have finally done away with the show. I'm gonna have to do a search on my TV to see if I can find it. Let's see. Deanna says definitely gymnastics, although I like anything. That's my fave. And Denise said, really, the California flag. Have to look that up. Kay, football is her favorite. Crystal likes football, and her team is Kansas City Chiefs. And like when it comes to football, it's like it was shocking that the Saints finally went to the Super Bowl that and they won that time because like the Saints just does not have a good reputation. And let's see, Wanda. She says she's enjoyed today. She's gonna put some fuel in the truck. Have a good weekend. Bye, Wanda. Hope you have a great weekend. And Crystal likes The Masked Singer, and which I never really watched that one. Now I've watched The Voice a little, and Let's see. Deanna says her husband is a big time football fan, so she had to get used to that and earplugs so I can watch my YouTubers and still be with them. And Chris says, me too, Crystal. In case it's not the California flag, it shows CA. Huh. I'm not really following that. And Deneen said, "Is there a bear on the flag I post or a maple leaf on it?" Okay. I'm kind of getting confused on that topic. Okay. And Crystal says, "I got Chris Doherty right and Nick Corder right." And she also says she thinks Piglet is Nick Lachey on the season. But yeah, I hadn't watched that one. I tend to be more like I've always kind of been more into like so you think you can dance. The Voice I've watched some. I know like oh I can't think of that other singing one. The one with Simon and Paula Abdul. American Idol. That's it. But I watched it a little bit, but I never watched that one a whole lot. Deanna thinks Chris Doughty has quite a voice. Cases on phones, it shows the Canadian flag, but on the computer, it just shows the letter CA. Okay, so that explains the whole CA thing. And Chris says, really, he don't look like it and act like him. Denise says she always says that I'm from California when I post the Canadian flag emoji. That is what we are talking about. Okay. Sorry, I got confused on that. Okay, Tammy says everyone have a great evening. I have to store the hamburgers on the pit. I'm headed your way, Tammy. I'm gonna be there for them hamburgers. No, too far away. But anyway, I hope you have a great day, Tammy. Bye. And Crystal says it comes on Wednesday at 8 on Fox. And Crystal thinks he does and so distinct. Okay, so I'm gonna ask another question now. What's your favorite genre of movies and why? I tend to like comedy a lot, and that's basically because it's funny. And I also like romance, and I guess that's because it just it just seems to be happy, and I like a combination of the two. So in about 12 minutes, I plan to end the live. So we have about 12 more minutes now. So Deanna loves true stories. I do too, especially like the true crime. And I do tend to like some mystery. And like I find I tend to like stuff that seems to be more realistic. Like stuff that could really happen. Like fantasy stuff and like sci-fi. I'm really not into that, and I'm not into action. Barbara says documentaries are comedy for her. And Crystal said that was a clue from this past week. Chris says, I'm with you, Connie. I like them and animated. Deanna says Lifetime and Hallmark channels. Oh yes, I love me some Lifetime. Which most of the time I tend to set my recorder to record a lot of the Lifetime movies. And for a while there, I don't know what happened because like my package for I have satellite TV. Like I don't have Lifetime Movie Network, but all of a sudden I was getting it for a little while and then they took it away. But I really loved it when I was getting it, and I wish it was part of the package that I had. The Hallmark I do like, But Hallmark, I find the movies tend to be the same thing over and over again. And Dana says she loves true stories, and she started a horrifying show yesterday. It's called I Was a Child Bride on Hulu. That might be good. And let's see. Crystal loves sci-fi or horror, but sci-fi is her favorite. But I do love really anything. Tammy says fantasy and sci-fi here. So Dana has Deanna wanting to go check out Child Bride on Hulu. And Tammy says, everyone have a great weekend. I have to get the hamburgers on the pit. Ooh, those hamburgers are sounding yummy. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and ask another question, which this will probably be the last question I ask today. What's the weirdest food you've ever eaten? Where, with me, I guess kind of sushi, but I only like certain types of sushi. I don't like. There's a lot of sushi I don't like, but there's a few that I do. Also, I like sardines. And Dana says, y'all have to see that. I haven't finished the episode, but the story was nuts. It's covering several women. It's crazy how they were not helped as kids. And that's so sad when you hear stuff like that. It's like when people just have rough lives and they just came into all these bad situations. And Chris says, Crystal, I can kind of hear it also, but Joey Santano on YouTube says otherwise. So Dana, you ate raccoon. Interesting. That's interesting. How was it? What did it taste like? Actually, I have had alligator, which that basically tastes like chicken. Kay says zucchini. Oh, I like zucchini. And like one thing funny, like I used to be very funny about the vegetables I ate. I only liked vegetables raw. And like and the only cooked vegetable I would ever eat was corn. And when it came to vegetables, now I would eat like bell peppers, celery, like lettuce in a salad, cucumbers, carrots, but that was pretty much it for vegetables. And then later on, like in the last few years, I decided to start trying different vegetables more. And now I still can be funny about vegetables. Like I do not like canned vegetables. The only canned vegetable I will eat is corn. And even that, I prefer getting frozen corn than in a can. But like I like zucchini, I like butternut squash. And butternut squash is good to kind of like cut like French fries. And I like to do baked fries with them. And really a lot of vegetables you can do like baked French fries with, or you can put them in the air fryer. Beets, like making beet chips, that's really good. Uh, let's see. Chris says squirrel. Deanna says cow tongue and cactus. Wow, that is interesting. Crystal says, I will check out what Joey Santano says. She has been right on almost everyone. Yeah, they're still talking about their TV show. And Dana says she was tricked by her father-in-law, had some wrapped in foil with potatoes. I cannot remember the taste. I do remember it was dark and shredded. But yeah, I've never heard of anyone eating raccoon before. Oh, and I have had frog legs. That's another one. Um, Chris says he says things about the masked singer and the masked dancer. Deanna loves goat meat. Interesting. Mendoza made with cow stomach. Oh, she said Mendula. I may not be I may not be pronouncing that right. Barbara says rattlesnake. Well, y'all coming up with some good stuff. Yeah, some interesting answers. And Sheila says fries. We call them chips in the UK. Love them. Hi, Sheila. Glad to have you. Let me know where you're from and what are you currently knitting. We only have about 5 more minutes before I'll be closing out the live, but I'm so glad that you made it. And Lashira says, y'all have a blessed day. Bye, everyone. It was fun, Connie. Thanks a lot. Bye, Lashira. I'm glad you came, and I hope you have a wonderful day and a wonderful weekend. And let's see. Okay, I'm caught up on the comments. Oh, and those that are wondering about when I do lives, I do lives every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time and Saturday at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. And I do plan to add a third live during the week. It's probably going to be another week or two before I add that because I want to get more comfortable with going live first because this is the third time I've gone live. But I'm thinking about doing Mondays at 11:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. That's what I'm aiming towards when I do add a third day. So Sheila is from Newcastle. Ooh, in the northeast of England. Ooh. I love hearing when people are from a different country. She's busy knitting a 50-inch cardigan at the moment. Ooh, cardigan. That sounds lovely. I'd love to see it when you're finished with it. If you could share a picture with me. Oh, your name is Brenda. I'm so sorry, Bear. I thought the other day you said Barbara. I think I'm getting confused because Barbara from Crochet Delight. But I'm sorry, I've been calling you the wrong name. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and oh, hold on a minute. Okay, Sheila says she just caught my live. Cardigan's not for me. 38 for me. Okay. Yeah, I like Barbara's channel. And she had hand dyed me some beautiful yarn. So I have one of her giveaways. And she's so sweet. I always tend to like my finished projects. I tend to send her pictures for her hot off the hook segment on Fridays. Okay, Chris is asking if I have hats up. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Let's see. I'm going to give it another minute or two for her to respond before closing out. But I am so glad that everyone joined me today. I want to thank y'all for tuning in. And I hope y'all are enjoying my channel. Oh, okay. Brenda says she won a drop spindle from her, and now she's hooked on spinning. I've never done any spinning. Oh, a tutorial on your channel. I do eventually want to do tutorial for hats. Yeah, it will be coming. I just don't know when because I have certain tutorials I'm working on, and I have a list of things that I do want to do. So, but it will be coming. Okay. So yeah, if y'all haven't done so, please give this video a thumbs up. And please let others know about my channel. Please share my videos. If you haven't done so, please subscribe to my channel. But yeah, I hope everyone has a fabulous Yorny day. And be the light. And bye, everyone.